In this recording, I'm going to go over what scalping is like using Trade Unafraid. I'm making this on October 22nd, but this is the trading day, October 21st, 2021. And I used to be a student of Fausto's at CTU, and at the time I was not very focused on it, unfortunately. So I learned it, but I never really practiced it. I just know that it was tough with the speed required. So I recently bumped into Fausto again, and it occurred to me that Trade Unafraid is just made for that kind of trading. So I figured I'd give it a shot. So I just happened to see his tweet, and I know he does these every day. But so we're going to run through this recording. I've chopped it up to just capture the interesting parts, and I'll probably fast forward through some of it. But anyway, that's his list. This is Trade Unafraid. This is the UI where you create a trade plan. So yeah, actually, no, I'll wait. Okay, so yeah, right here I'm going to load a template. Let's see if we can fast forward a little bit. So there's all my saved templates. So I pick that one and click load. And the form loads. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of control the playback. I'm not going to go through everything here. There's a lot to a trade plan. But anyway, this is for trading stocks long. I'm using dollars as the quantity basis, so you can specify whether you want to trade a certain number of shares or a certain size in dollars. So I have $1,000 allocated. I'm trading live. So this is a lot of entry and exit stuff. Here's one of the interesting things is these are repeating trade plans. So they will wait for a setup, they'll take it, they'll open the position. When it closes, they go back to looking for the next opportunity. Um, so, and all of that is automated. Uh, so the setup I'm using is actually from the strat. It's a candle pattern. I'm looking for ones, which are inside bars, and then either a 2 or a 3. Now, because I'm in a retirement account and I'm only going to trade long, I'm either looking for a 2 up or a 3 that starts going down and then goes back up. So either one of those will trigger an entry. But there is also this full time frame continuity filter. So I think you'll see at points in the video where the 1-2 or the 1-3 triggers, but it then gets rejected because it doesn't pass the time frame continuity filter. So if you're going long, then see, I've configured it for 60 minutes, 15 minutes, and 5 minutes. If they're not all green, then full time frame continuity fails and the trade gets filtered out. If you're going short, then they would all have to be red. So they have to agree with the direction of the trade. All right, so here's the entry tactic, market order. Now, here are the exits that I have set up. My loss limit is 5%, or I'm sorry, half 8% of my entry of my position size. So that's based on 1,000. Of course, it's not always going to end up being $1,000 exactly, but whatever the size of the position is, 0.5% will be my loss limit. Now, I will say that I think that's too tight using CTU trading techniques. I think I could do better with a little bit more room. Preserve profit means if you get a winner that takes some money, then don't let it become a loser. So in this case, I just have it set where if I make $2 in realized profits, then don't let the trade go negative, and it will do the best that it can to get out before it turns negative. There's also green to red candles, meaning if a trade goes your direction and then does a hard reversal, and I don't think this is really the right setup. I will say that this was a strat setup that I applied to CTU trading, and it really needs some tuning, and you'll see it in the trades. But anyway, I was looking for a 10-minute candle being retraced by 50%. That would be a signal to get out because the stock has moved against you. Um, then we have green to red positions, which I think got me out multiple times in yesterday. But so in this case, if I'm up by 0.5%, then if my profit retraces back down to just being up 0.1%, then it gets out. So, these are designed to try and quickly protect a winner from turning into a loser. And then where these targets come from, we have multiple strategies that let you exit a a position, take target profits. This one is based on candle magnitudes, meaning we're looking, in this case, I have it configured to look at 5-minute candles and pick the tops of those 5-minute candles as targets. And then it will also move the trail up, and you'll see this. This is really one of the most amazing things that makes this so good for CTU kind of trading. And I could use the midpoint, but I'm using the high or the low of the candle. I'm using the high because I'm long. If I was going short, then I'd be using the low. And we're ignoring inside candles. And then I'm picking the 8 closest pivots, and then I'm also picking percentage of my position to take profit at all these points. You'll see the lines on the chart, and unfortunately, I don't think the scroll is going to work to show you, but there's more down here that uses the average, the ATR, the average true range of these candles, as a way to keep the pivots from being too close together. So we will actually filter them out. If you have pivots that are just a penny apart, you don't want both of those to be take profit targets. So we filter those out and use the ATR instead. So anyway, these are my trade plans. They're supposed to be long or short. That's what the L/S is. But as I said, in a retirement account, I can't do that. So you can see the time of day. It's 9:34. The market's open. I'm using 2-minute candles here. And okay, so now you saw that fade. So we're headed to the first actual trade. So DWAC triggers a 1-2. So it broke above the high of that candle, and you can see that I immediately stopped out and you can see why. It reversed hard. So the loss limit was hit almost instantly. You can see there SOS, the full time frame continuity filter kept a trigger from kept a setup from entering. All right. So now we're looking for the next entry. And there it is. Duo has just triggered. So, and you can see some targets being entered. This is the actual position. And that one, see, that one turned around. Here, I'm going to go back for just one sec. That one turned around against us real quick. And the green to red positions, it doesn't do that unless I pause. The green to red positions got us out. So you can see the little tail, the wick on that candle. So it went up, got to a certain trigger point of that 0.5%, and then it reversed hard. And so it got us out, made a $2.03 profit, and protected us from turning that gain into a loss. All right, next trade. So in this case, I manually enter long. I like the look of this setup. It wasn't a 1-2 or a 1-3, but I entered manually. So you can see there's all my take profit lines, and you'll see the stops move up as I take profits. All right, so in that case, I hit some of the targets and then got stopped out real quick, $9. Like I said, maybe these things are too tight. They could use some tuning, but you can see the power. So here's one that triggered on its own, and came close to hitting that first target. Now watch down here, you'll see, okay, so you can see targets go away, and these are like brackets that there's the target and there's the stop, and as you hit one, then we move on to the next one. So the stop comes up and the new target comes into view. So you can see this whole set of brackets just progressing as price goes up, and there's the realized profits. And of course, I'm trading small. This was a test, but you can do this with any quantity you want. I'll also point out while we're waiting that you have manual controls here that easily get you out of 10%, 25%. You know, we can customize these things. You can place more orders here. All right, so in that case, it was our candle magnitude trail. So you can see, I'm going to go back for 1 second. You can see that the candle came back down, and so we hit our trailing stop that was moving up. All right, another manual enter on JRJC. I believe. I think I'm about to click. Okay, so there's all the targets up above, and you can watch down here to see these brackets if they move, if we hit the targets. And in that case, yeah, we took a 497 loss. Started to look good, and then it went the other way. So I was thinking it was going to come back up along that wick again. I was thinking $9 would be support. So I jumped in, and there are the targets. Burned again, but it got out fast enough to make almost $8. And that was a green to red positions again. So it got up to that 0.5% profit, and then it got out before it hit or when it hit the 0.1%. So at this point, I had that loss, but I'm up $1.67. And you can see it's 10:12 now. So, you know, there's plenty of downtime between setups. So, sorry about the dogs. Here's a manual enter, DWAC. I think I'm going to enter manually. Yeah. By the way, this is bid, ask, and last. So you can see the dark blue that is a little tough to see in this video. That's the last traded price. All right, so the brackets moved up. We got stopped out, $7.50. So now we're up to $9.19. That was a manual entry. By the way, the delay in the UI showing things, we're taking care of that. We have a new UI coming out in hopefully in the next few weeks. I forgot to scroll enough to see the stops, but you can see the brackets disappear as we hit targets. Oh, and I believe I just hit the 10% button there because there was, yeah, I clicked it again. I'm not sure why we don't hear the sound, but so I'm taking some risk off the table as it's up there because I'm not convinced it's going to go higher. Of course, I think it went much higher. Oh, and while I was in this, HX triggered on its own. So you can see that, you know, the automation will work on multiple trade plans. So HX entered and then DWAC closed on its own, made a little under 5. And then HX is, I just clicked 10% again. So it's a quick, easy way to take some money off the table. You don't have to worry about existing orders conflicting. The software adjusts all that behind the scenes. I did it again. There's another one. So I'm just, you know, taking some money off the table when it seems like things are a little stalled, and there you go. It came all the way down. And so after all that, it only made under, $2.50. So that's it. I think I paused the rest of the video, but it was a really, really intriguing day. I mean, a lot of people use Trade Unafraid for, whatever style they prefer. But this is really intriguing to me that the CTU type of trading does so well. I mean, and when I was trying to do this manually, it was tough. It's a lot to manage, and the user interface of whatever trading platform is just not made to do what Trade Unafraid is. So it will help you by placing targets out there automatically. You have total control over where they go, and you can cancel them. So you can adjust things on the fly, but this tool really helps. Anyway, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, come see us at tradeunafraid.com.